Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here. This is actually my first YouTube channel, and here on this channel we talk about everything data. Everything data, data analytics, and data science. So, for today, what are we going to talk about? So, today we want to talk about the programming language that's on everybody's mind, which is, yeah, you guessed it, Python. So, what is Python? I'm just going to jump in right there. What is Python? Python is a programming language. And when it comes to data science and data analytics, Python is used for manipulating the data, analyzing data, aggregating data, and it's used in so many different systems that we use today, whether it's AI, whether it's basic analysis. Python is used worldwide when it comes to trying to, for example, let me give examples of prediction, trying to see what would the for example, what would happen if given a given circumstances, like basic circumstances, what would the outcome be? It can either be a boolean, which is true or false, or if it's not a boolean, you can name it like one or zero, one being true, zero being false, or it can be numeric and continuous numerical figure that you want to predict. As an example, like prediction, it can also be used in a recommendation system. What is a recommendation system? A recommendation system is given a set of given rules. What would the next possible iteration be? For example, if you're Netflix and you've been watching a given type of shows all over, what would Netflix recommend to you given the type of shows that you've been listening to? Or Spotify, what would the next song that you want to listen to be given the number of songs that you have been number and type of songs that you have been listening to? So those are examples of predictive systems that Python can be used in a different softwares. So today specifically, I just want to go in and give you a very basic view of how you can use Python. So what we're going to use is Google Colab. Google Colab is free. You can use this on your computer. All you need to do is sign in, and it will give you an interface where you can write actually a different, like so many different types of programming languages. But for today, we're going to look at Python in particular. So I'm just going to show you the basics of how you can use Python to get a good understanding of your data or your data set. And this data set is going to be a CSV file. A CSV file can be in terms of like Excel or maybe Google Sheets. And we're going to have a good sense of what is inside this data, just so that we can get and wrap our head around the different aspects of this data. And that in a whole is called descriptive statistics. So descriptive statistics are the basic things that we learned, which has to do with mean, average, and all those basic kind of operations or aggregations that you may want to use so that you can get a good grip of what is inside your data set. So without wasting any time, let's jump into this. So here we have the basic interface for Google Colab, and yeah, this is a fresh page whereby we're gonna do our basic analytics. So here in the statute, we can see that we have NumPy and pandas. So what is NumPy? NumPy is both NumPy and pandas are both Python libraries. These are Python libraries that help us to manipulate data and do analysis and aggregations on our data. So NumPy basically has to do more with arrays and mathematical formulae, and pandas is actually built on top of NumPy. So what is Seaborn? Seaborn just helps us to visualize this data after putting it in a data frame. So this code over here basically just helps us to import this data into Colab. So that one, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to cram this into your head. So, oh, okay, I forgot to mention that when we have import numpy as np. Np is just an alias meaning like, let's say an abbreviation for numpy, which is np, but np, pd, sns are just these are best practice names which have been given to these libraries that could be understood by anyone who actually comes to your code to read through it. So let's jump right in. I already downloaded a basic data set from Kaggle, and this is just so you can familiarize you with the language. It's not a difficult language to learn. You can learn this with just a little effort to put in to do just the basics as you build on top of that. So here in this video, I'm just showing you just a brief overview. So let's run this cell. Oh, I forgot to mention that you have to connect to a runtime over here. Mine is connected. And then, yeah, let's start it out. So when you run this cell, you can choose number of files. So right here it's called ice cream cells. We're going to do a data set about ice cream cells. So feel free to do this tutorial with me. I'm going to leave the link for this data set in the comment section plus this code in case you want to follow through. So just pay attention in this video and just see how this is basically done, and then you can go back and do this by yourself. So we've imported the data set over here. So whatever name is written here is what should be here. So just gonna change this. Okay, let's see, this may not run, but let's see. All right, it doesn't run. So it doesn't run because the name changed. So you see right here, the name ice cream cells temperatures, it had a 1 over here. So I'm just going to copy this. Just going to copy the name and place it over here. .csv means that .csv means that it's a CSV file. So let's run this again. Okay, it has been read by pandas. Remember, pandas is PD into this into Colab as a data frame. So when we upload it into a data frame meaning it has columns and rows, it helps us to easily manipulate this data using pandas. That's the beauty about pandas. Pandas helps us to do very, very good analysis, very fast analysis, and it's something that you also get to love and love pandas just as much as I do. So the next step here, print uploaded.keys, it just helps us to know what the name of the data set, just for you to affirm that's the name of the data set that you want. So from there, what do we want to know? We want to know, let's get the general info about the data frame. So it's right over here, get basic descriptive. Okay, this is the basic descriptive statistics about the data set. So how do we do that? We use, oh, all right, no. By the way, when you put a hashtag, this code doesn't run. When you put this hash, I call it hashtag. When you put this hash, it means the code won't run. So here in this step, we named the data frame df. So we want to see what is the basic info about this. So df.info will give us a basic information. Basic information is here. So the first row, the first column, it starts with a 0. In Python, it always starts with a 0. The first column is a 0, it's not a 1. That's something you should know. It's a 0, which is temperature, and then ice cream profits is the second column, which is column number 1, and it has 365 non-null values. It means that when it means non-null, it means that there is actually data there. If it's null, there is no data. So we have 2 columns, temperature and ice cream, with column number 0 and 1, and 365 non-null. That means all the data is in the columns, right? You can see from here, how would you know how many rows there are? There are 365 entries and there are 365 non-null. So we don't have any nulls. Nulls can tend to be a problem, but that is something, a video for another day, that we can learn how to deal with null values, how to deal with zeros. But today we're just going to go through the very basics of this. So what is next after saying that? We want to know the shape of this data. What's the shape of this data? The shape meaning the rows and the columns. Okay. Yes, this is good. It's good when you get errors, because now I remember that df.shape does not have these parentheses. These are some of the things that you get to know and get to learn with time, that you know that this is a mistake, it's an error, this is not the correct syntax. So it has 365 rows and 2 columns, just as we saw here, 2 columns, 365 rows. Then what else do we want to know? We want to know what are the basic descriptive statistics about this data frame. So what do we use? We use something called describe, right? You can see describe and then descriptive statistic. Usually when I do this, I like to put this like that. What does this do? It transposes. Transposes means if something was a column, it turns it into a row, and if it was a row, it turns into a column. Okay, so all right, let's run this. So we have temperature and ice cream profits. The basic descriptive statistics are, for this, we have the count 365, we have the mean, which is 71 degrees, and I don't know if this is degrees or Fahrenheit. I'll have to check on that. And the profits 52, I guess this is dollars. The standard deviation, the mean 25. Okay, standard deviation means the variance from the mean. How far off is each point from the mean? The mean, this mean, MEAN, not this mean. Mean was the minimum value in this column of temperature. 25%. What is the 25th? The 25th percentile. What is the 25th number? So if I can say that. Or in this column, just 63 of 50%, which is 73. 50% actually stands for the median, 75%, and then there was a maximum value, which is 100%. And the same thing for this column of ice cream profits. It does the same thing for both of these. So you can look through this, and kind of get a good idea of what this data is about. We know that, for example, the mean temperature is 71 degrees. I'll take it as degrees. I'm going to find out the units. Each point varies 13 degrees 13 degrees from the mean. The minimum temperature is 39 degrees, the 25th number is 63, the 50th, which is the median, is 73, and the maximum temperature we have here is 101. So I'm assuming actually this is in Fahrenheit, not degrees. Okay, so we have the basic descriptive statistics over there. So the next thing is basically where I'm going to stop for today, is to look at how many null entries do we have here. So after getting to this point and looking at what the data basically is showing you in terms of descriptive statistics, the next step, which I'll just give you a preview to our next video, is to do with handling nulls. Nulls can become a bit of challenge when dealing with data, because it makes manipulation more difficult, and it's not it makes manipulation difficult, number one, and number two, it's just better if it's null, you can actually make it 0 so that it does not mess up with your data, and that one I'll show you in a later video. So there you have it, guys. We've done the basic introduction of Python as a programming language, discussed how we can use it in everyday life, how it's being used in everyday life, and also I've shown you how to use Google Colab. I personally love Google Colab because I can use it whenever I quickly want to import a data set. All you have to do is open up account on Google Colab and get a data set. The data set, I got it from Kaggle. Kaggle is also free. Open up an account with Kaggle, and you're able to download different types of data sets that you can use for your practice. I'm going to leave the links below for Kaggle and also for Google Colab, and you can follow through and just get a good understanding, a good basic understanding of the programming language of Python and how you can use it. So guys, it's the end of the video. So if you found this video helpful, please leave a like, subscribe, and do please comment on the content, what you'd like to see more from me, and just give me your feedback, and we can help to improve this channel and grow it and actually give you value on how you can learn data and actually gain value and apply it in real life circumstances. So see you guys in the next video.